Welcome back, my awesome people. In today's episode, I will be highlighting the soon coming Ethereum Spot ETF and what that will mean for the investing world. Just like the recently approved Bitcoin Spot ETF, an Ethereum one is on its way. For those that have been following Bitcoin the past month, you will see that within weeks of the Bitcoin Spot being approved, Bitcoin skyrocketed to all-time highs, hitting over 70,000 per Bitcoin. And that is what crypto investors are hoping will happen once the Ethereum Spot ETF is approved. BlackRock, the company that pretty much rules the world, was the main driver behind the Bitcoin ETF and is now also the main driver of the Ethereum ETF. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, in a CNBC interview sees the value in having an Ethereum ETF. And he said this just a day after the first spot Bitcoin ETF began trading in the United States. So why does BlackRock's opinion matter when it comes to the Ethereum ETF? Well, BlackRock originally changed how people thought about whether a Bitcoin ETF would even be possible. And now that it has been approved, it is clear that if a Bitcoin ETF was able to come to market, so can an Ethereum ETF. While Ether is often lumped in with Bitcoin as the two major crypto projects, there are concerns that an Ether Spot ETF approval could be a lot more complex than the Bitcoin one. Much of the uncertainty has to do with the potential classification of Ether as a security. If Ether becomes a security, will it change everything about the Ether ecosystem the same way that the Bitcoin ETF changed the Bitcoin ecosystem? Well, as we all know, Wall Street now has some control over Bitcoin and will soon have some control over Ethereum as well. Prominent investment management firms have already filed applications for the approval of an Ether ETF, and the SEC is expected to weigh in on a variety of different Ethereum ETF applications, including those from BlackRock, Fidelity, and Franklin Templeton in May of 2024. Bitcoin just hit a new high in the first quarter of 2024, and the wider crypto market is now worth more than $3 trillion. Ethereum's not been lost in this bullish run-up, as it has rallied more than 65% since the beginning of 2024. Ethereum lovers have long argued that the second most valuable blockchain network will be the infrastructure of an entirely new financial system. Through smart contracts, supporters point to a future with more transparent markets, tokenized versions of popular funds, and faster settlement times. It's only a matter of time before institutional investors start taking bigger positions in Ether, and the creation of Bitcoin ETFs are increasing their appetite. Some investors say that an Ether ETF will actually do the opposite of the Bitcoin ETF and will actually drop Ether's value, since Ether has an unlimited supply. But I don't think so. The approval of the Bitcoin ETF ushered in a new era for the oldest and most widely accepted digital asset by offering traditional retail investors like us easier access to get into crypto and giving it more mainstream credibility. And with the recent approval, the price of Bitcoin has jumped more than 50%, while Ethereum and other digital currencies have also climbed back up to near record highs. So if Bitcoin jumped and continues to jump because of its ETF, then Ethereum should as well. Like, why wouldn't it? Now that institutional money is finally flowing into Bitcoin due to the ETF, then institutional money will also be flowing into the Ethereum ETF. And now that institutions have jumped on the crypto bandwagon, does this mean that crypto is now a store of value just like gold? Is it a digital replacement to paper money or fiat currency? Or is it a way for investors to diversify their investment portfolio? Well, honestly, since Ethereum is currently on its way to surpassing its all-time high during the filming of this episode, the approval of the Ethereum ETF will parachute it even higher, because when the Bitcoin ETF was approved, Bitcoin was still down more than 50% from its all-time high, to eventually getting back to its all-time high in a matter of weeks. And if the Ethereum ETF is approved, while Ethereum is on its way back to its all-time high, after the approval, it will surely skyrocket, with a price prediction that not only myself but other investors are saying is between 10 to 15,000 per Ethereum. But before that happens, there surely will be opportunities of a pullback for people like us, the average investor, to buy some more. Personally, Personally, I will definitely be adding more of both Bitcoin and Ethereum to my portfolio on every major dip that happens. Although Bitcoin did make a crazy run up due to the approval of the ETF, there are still other factors that are driving the price of Bitcoin up and up. Ethereum will close the gap with Bitcoin in terms of its gains, as Ethereum is predicted to hit and even surpass $10,000 this year. And an Ethereum ETF approval would undoubtedly help drive up its value. It'll be good for investors to have access to ETH in a way that is easy and familiar. Just like when the Bitcoin ETF was approved. It gave retail investors an easy way to invest in Bitcoin just like a stock without the need for wallets, keys, ledgers, and crypto platforms. So Jacob Rant, what is your move here? What are your thoughts on the Ether ETF? Well, my awesome people, I have always mentioned my stance on crypto, and that is I am not all in, but it is a part of my portfolio. I do not directly own any crypto coins except for AMP coin, ticker symbol AMP, which I am down about 60% due to their SEC investigation, but analysts and experts have noted that AMP coin will slowly rise throughout 2024 and 2025, and once it has been accepted by the mainstream, it will boom to hopefully $1, since it actually has a purpose and utility in the financial transactions. So I am patiently waiting to be rich. But for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I am only invested in BTCY and ETHY, which are Canadian Bitcoin and Ether spot ETFs. Now, my American viewers, you are late to the crypto ETF game. Canada has had Bitcoin spot and Ethereum spot ETFs for the past few years, and it has been great for me. I started buying the ETFs when Bitcoin was in the mid-20s and Ether was around 1400. And now that they both have doubled and tripled in value, so has my ETF value. So I was never excited to buy the American Bitcoin ETF, as I was always buying the Canadian versions. And not only that, but the two ETFs that I am in love with also pay a massive monthly dividend. So while crypto was going up and down like a roller coaster the past few years, I was still getting paid. And that is my move, to find dividend plays and hold. So my move with crypto is to continue buying BTCY and ETHY and enjoy the monthly dividends while crypto hits all-time highs and my crypto portfolio continues to appreciate. An ETF is a lot easier than managing and operating all the crypto logistics like wallets and keys, and you get to keep more of your profits since there is no gas fees, because as we all know, gas fees can eat up a lot of your gains. So my awesome people, we are finally heading into a world where crypto and digital assets are being accepted by the big players and institutions, and this will definitely change how we interact with money and investments. So do not be afraid to add some crypto to your portfolio, as this is a high risk, high reward play. What are your thoughts on the Ethereum spot ETF? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if the video gave you some value and insightful content. And remember, my awesome people, just like all the information that I put in my videos, assess your risk appetite, always diversify, and please do your own due diligence, because I am just a clown on YouTube. Stay ranting.